Try that again. Hello, this is week 7 vlog, and today we are still reflecting upon my personal experience. This time I'd love to reflect more upon the middle of my experience, on high school especially, and then we also seems to be, from all the comments, talking about the program of student teaching itself and how I view that and how it's affected my teaching. So we'll start with that. So this program for me has been an exceptionally eye-opening one. It has been wonderful to be able to work with people who are experts in the field of what I want to do, and I think that especially student teaching is vital because it gives you a first-hand exposure to the classroom. I think that what this program really does is destigmatize the idea of, like, I can't do this in front of students, right? I know that up until really the midsection of all of these, I was not very social with a lot of my students, right? And there were a couple students who latched on to me immediately, right? But for the most part, it was very hit or miss with a lot of students, right? And I didn't think that I would be at the point of where I'm at um, until until much later on. But I'm glad that it's happened now. I think that it has been this credential program has been the first time within my education at Cal State Fullerton, besides maybe one other class, where I really feel like I'm getting education on how to educate, especially in this class, right? This idea of like, what are tools that we can use to be able to use in the field, right? Even in classes such as arts and music classes, which are not your typical classes. I think that it's really wonderful to be able to be in these classes and to be able to learn. I do think that a big problem that I have with the program is the commuting aspect, right? I every day I have to commute probably over 2.5 hours sometimes to get to and from work, right? I work at Mission Viejo, I work in Irvine, and I live in Brea. So that's at minimum of 40 minutes between me and Irvine of really, and really 50 to an hour for Mission Viejo and plus, right? So I think that's been one thing, and it's been a lot of the struggle that I have had with a lot of the classes, right? If I had accepted a different position somewhere closer to here, I think it would be a lot. And I don't want to say this because I don't want it to be an excuse, but I do feel like it is true to my situation. But I do feel like it has affected my work ethic in classes like these a lot. You know, I've had a wonderful time in this class, and learning from you, Dr. Kim, and learning from all the other professors that I've had has been the first time, again, in my career here at Cal State Fullerton where I feel like I'm being educated on how to teach. I just don't have the energy after teaching for a full day, commuting 2.5 hours, going to our rehearsals, for me to do extra work on top of that, not to talk about the TPA at all, right? And that's not even to reference the TPA. The TPA is an entirely different beast in itself, and it's something that has also plagued me, but is, I feel, kind of different than the classes that I'm getting here, right? These are more for my own personal pedagogy. The TPA is kind of for the state to know, okay, you can teach. That being said, on to the more happier subject of how I was doing weeks 6 through 10, really. Excuse me. But I do feel that in this time we had a concert, right? And we had finished the end of the fall section going into the winter section, which is really the time when vocalists become the most busiest, right? And so in this, I had done a, I had done several different things um, for I was conducting in the concert, and the concert we'll get back to in a second, but was really awesome. I had helped with several fundraisers at this time, right? And I had helped with honor choir auditions as well, so that was awesome, right? And helping prepare some of the students to get ready for honor choir. So we'll go work backwards. So honor choir rehearsals were awesome because a lot of them came. There was about, I think, 10 students at the beginning, and it kind of gradually declined after that. But these students came in and they were like, we're gonna try out for honor choir, it's gonna be awesome. And we were like, okay, cool. Like, and it was during lunch for a lot of time, so we had closed the room from the rest of the people, and that was a lot of fun because these were just students who wanted to sing, that wanted to continue, right? So they were like eager to learn, eager to work, right? So it was awesome to work with them. And a lot of these students are in the program, and so I'm recognizing new faces, building new relationships with other people, right, and getting to integrate myself more in that way as well. The fundraisers were awesome because it helped me learn how to manage and run events like this, right? Seeing how much work goes into a fundraiser, seeing how little that, sometimes how it goes, but also how much rigor it takes to put on a program of this kind of size is very stupendous. And then finally, the concert. The concert was the culmination of everything in this sort of chunk of time that was really awesome for the students, especially for the students who were not in it beforehand, right? So my first time choir students, right? Because we told them, look, you've got to learn this so that way you can perform it in front of 500 people, which is not an over exaggeration. That's actually under what we got. And they obviously didn't believe us because that makes sense, right? And then we get to the concert, everybody's looking real nice, everybody's in uniform, and we go on stage and they do it, and like I could see even the students who didn't want to be there liked it a little bit. They were like, wow, this is kind of cool, at least a little bit, right? And it was really awesome because even after that, right, it was the day before like Halloween and stuff like that, and so we were able to like really be able to like get into some of this, and so that was really awesome to be able to do with them. And yeah, and so being able to grow my relationships with these was kind of a hallmark of this kind of time period. And that's it for this week.